Hello dear students, welcome to the online MOOC course on migration and refugees in urban areas. I am Dr. Belinda. I am Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Social Work in the Self-Finance stream at the Madras Christian College, Chennai. Today I will be taking you through this session, and the objectives of this session are to help you understand what migration is, the definition, the types, some statistics, what are the consequences of migration, and we will also be talking about migrants, IDPs, refugees and asylum seekers. Before we start, let us ponder a little about certain questions which people usually ask. Have you heard about people ask others, which is your native place? Where do you actually belong to? Where are your parents from? Where are your grandparents from? Do you know anyone who has moved out to another country or another state or another town, a city? Have you ever thought why they are moving out? What is the reason for them to move out of the place where they are right now? Yes, they are migrating. The process is called migration. Migration is usually defined as a geographical movement of people involving a change from their usual place of residence. People move from the place where they are residing to another new place for various reasons. So, they are moving geographically from one point to another point, or to say from one place to another place. Migration of people across administrative, political jurisdictions within a country or across countries has been a very crucial factor in changes in society. How do we say change in society? People who are of productive age move from one place to another, so to join the economic activities. So, there is more production in a particular place, more people are settling down in a particular place, there is a need for more educational institutions, there is a need for more hospitals and other infrastructural facilities. So, there is a change in the society. To continue, the study of migration occupies an important place in population studies, because along with fertility, when I say fertility, the number of newborns in a particular period of time, and mortality, when I say mortality, the number of people who die in a particular period of time, it determines the size and rate of population growth of a place. The number of people who move into a new place, or to say migrate to a new place, the rate at which people come in, is it in hundreds, is it in thousands, is it in a particular period? So, this plays a very important role in population studies. It also plays a very important role in the distribution of the population of any country and determines the growth of labor force in that particular area. So, when people migrate, the predominant reason is looking for job opportunities. So, when they come to a particular place, they join the labor force, and as I told you a little while back, the production increases, economy also improves. Let us continue looking at what migration is. It is a response to the uneven distribution of opportunities over space. So, let us take for example, in Chennai, we have a lot of industrial estates in the outskirts of Chennai city, like Ambattur Industrial Estate, Oragadam Industrial Estate and many. But whereas when we see in a rural part of Tamil Nadu or any other rural area, there are not much companies which offer job employments for people. So, people move seeking for better opportunities. People tend to move from places of low opportunity and low safety to places of high opportunity and high safety. So, there are more job opportunities, better educational facilities, better hospital availability. So, people move in search of places where there are higher opportunities and higher safety. Let's look at a couple of definitions. First, let us look at the definition. So, according to the Demographic Dictionary of United Nations, migration is such an event in which people move from one geographical area to another geographical area. So, must be people are just moving from a district to district or a block to block. It might be from state to state, or it might even be from country to country. The next definition by International Organization for Migration, which is a UN migration agency, and they define migration or migrants as any person who is moving or has moved across an international border or within a state away from his or her habitual place of residence, regardless of the person's legal status. When I say legal status, he can be a major, he can be a minor, he can be married or unmarried, it can be a male, it can be a female, it can be a transgender. So, irrelevant of the legal status. The movement can be voluntary or involuntary. The parents are moving, so the children are moving along, so it becomes involuntary. I need to earn for my family, so it is voluntary. So, the movement can be voluntary or involuntary. What the causes for the movement are might be different. A girl might be getting married and she might be going, so that might be a reason. There might have been a natural disaster, so people are moving out of that particular geographical location. And what the length of the stay is, it can be just they are going for a month, a year, some 5 years, or they are planning to settle down in the new place itself. So, irrelevant of all this, when a person moves, crosses boundaries, borders, they are called migrants. Before we launch off further into understanding migration or migrants, let us understand few terms. Number 1, immigration. Immigration is coming to a foreign country with the intention of permanently living there. Immigrate, immigration. So, in the airport we will be seeing immigration check, there will be officials checking your passport. So, you are going out of the country. Emigration, emigration is leaving a resident country with the intent to settle elsewhere. The place of origin or source is the place which a migrant is moving out of. So, I am from Chennai I am moving out to Delhi. It is the place of origin. Chennai becomes the place of origin or source place. Place of destination is the place to which the migrant is going. So, I am going from Chennai to Delhi. So, Delhi is the place of destination for me. And push factors, there are certain reasons that makes me to move out of Chennai to go to Delhi. Must be I am going to study there and then planning to get a job and settle down there, or I am getting married, I am going to go settle down in Delhi, or there are better job opportunities there, so I am going to go there. So, push factors. Pull factors, they are the expectations which attract people to the new place. So, for me the pull factor would be my marriage and I am going to settle down there. There is an education institute, I want to study that particular degree in that particular place, and there are so many job opportunities there available for that course after I complete that particular program. So, that is one of the pull factor for me. So, push factor and the pull factor, we will see this in detail a little later. Seasonal migrants, migrants who move during seasons for a particular season, must be during the crop harvest, or they work in cities when there is a particular demand during a particular season. So, these people are called seasonal migrants. Circular migration, when groups of people move back to where they came from, they go, they come back, they go and they come back. So, it becomes circular migration. Diaspora, so we always hear the word Indian diaspora in the United States or the United Kingdom. So, diaspora are people who have been spread or dispersed from their homeland and staying in a new country, a destination. Host country, the country which receives the immigrants, host the country becomes the host for the migrants who go from here to their host country. Home country, the country which send migrants. So, to explain this must be a Indian from Delhi is going to study in the US or going to settle down in the US. So, what happens? The US becomes the host country and Delhi is the India is the home country. Take a break to watch a video. It is a discussion on human migration, the reasons and impact. You will get more idea as to the statistics, the reasons, the problems faced by migrants when you watch this video. I hope you all enjoyed watching the video and have learnt a lot of information from the panelists there. Now, let us look at certain facts and figures about migration at the national level, and further down I will take you through international level also. The 2001 census estimated the total number of internal migrants, people who moved within the country, internal migrants at 314 million based on place of last residence. So, in the census they ask a question, currently where are you, where do you live, where was the last place you lived in. So, based on that 314 million people have found to be migrants, and this represents nearly 30% of the total Indian population. Now, 2011 is the last census which was taken in India, and the 2011 census, the number of internal migrants rose to 453.6. So, you see the difference, 314 to 453.6 million people have moved within the country. According to the International Migrant Stock 2019 report, this is released by the Population Division of the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, India with 5 million international migrants has emerged as the top source of international migrants, constituting 6.4 of world's total migrant population. So, there is close to 5 million Indians who move out of the country to settle down or to work or to study in different countries. Now, let us have a quick guess game. Just try guessing which state in India provides a lot of migrants to the rest of the country. Which state in India would be providing a lot of migrants to the rest of the country? Okay, the answer is Bihar, Uttar Pradesh. Okay. The next question, see if you can guess which state is the most sought after state for migrants to migrate to. So, a little while back we saw people migrate predominantly for livelihood reasons. So, the most sought after state is a place where there are lots of factories or job opportunities. Okay, I am not sure whether you have guessed it right. Mumbai, Kolkata, Tamil Nadu also is there on the list. So, these are places to which people migrate. Okay, one more guess. Which gender migrates more in India? You will be surprised to note women, because due to marriage women migrate from the place of birth or the place of residence and they go to a new place. Good. Let us keep going. So, some more facts and figures about migration to reinforce our guess questions. The cities of Mumbai, Delhi and Kolkata are the largest destinations for internal migrants in India. Uttar Pradesh and Bihar are the biggest source states, followed close by Madhya Pradesh, Punjab and Rajasthan. When I say source states, I am telling from these places people migrate outward. The number of internal migrants in India was 453 million as per the 2011 census. This was the last one. So, I have mentioned most recent census 2011. We already saw there is an increase, and the increase is 45% more as recorded in 2001 census. Internal migrants as a percentage of population increased from 30% in 2001 to 37% in 2011. When a person is enumerated, when I say enumerated, included, counted, numbered in the census at a different place than his or her place of birth, he, she is considered a migrant. So, I told you the last place of residence, where were you born. So, based on this they are considered as migrants. Out of the total internal migrants, 7% are women. This is again Census of India 2011, and marriage is one of the major reasons for female migration in both the rural and urban areas. Women get married and they leave their parental home and go into their husband's family in a different place. Migration for employment related reasons is one of the prominent reasons for male migration in both rural and urban areas. Men move out looking out for better employment opportunities. Let us look at some statistics at the global level. In 2019, the number of international migrants worldwide, people residing in a country other than their country of birth, reached almost 272 million. That is, from 258 million in 2017, it has increased to 272 million in 2019. Female migrants constituted 48% of international migrants. There were an estimated 38 million migrant children, children who migrated with the families. So, children who migrated. 3 out of 4 international migrants were of working age, meaning between 20 and 64 years old. So, we said employment is one of the major reasons or prominent reasons for movement. So, during the productive age, that is between 20 and 64, during the productive age they join, they move to different places to join the workforce. Approximately 31% of the international migrants worldwide resided in Asia, 30% in Europe, 26% in the United States of America, 10% in Africa and 3% in Oceania. We are moving on to the next part of our session. What are the different types of migration? Migration is majorly divided into two types: internal migration and international migration. Internal migration, this refers to a change of residence within the national boundaries, internally within the country, between states, between districts, between cities. So, this is called internal migration. The second major type or the broad classification is international migrants. This refers to change of residence over national boundaries. People cross national boundaries. So, one country to another. An international migrant is someone who moves to a different country, and international migrants are further classified as legal immigrants. So, by getting the visa etc., they move out of the country. Illegal migrants, people who enter the country like asylum seekers, and then we have the refugees also. We are going to dwell a little bit more on internal migration. So, as I told you, internal migration or internal migrants are people who migrate within the country, from one division, civil division to another, or across the administrative boundary of a civil division, one block to another, one district to another, one state to another. So, within the country. The characteristics and patterns of a country's internal migration are vital indicators of the pace and process of its development. So, when I say when people start moving to Mumbai, so we say because there are lots of factories there or employment opportunities there, there is going to be a lot of economic activity there, hence economic development there. So, the pace and process of development in different places can be guessed when people move to a particular area. The mobility of people within boundaries is very difficult to measure. This is because people constantly move from one place to another, and these movements are very diverse in nature. Why do they go? Which industry do they join? When I say which industry, are they going to join the textile industry or the construction industry or the automobile industry or the hotel industry? We do not have any data why they are going, where they are going, because they just move internally, crossing borders of states or districts or blocks. The distances covered vary from a few kilometers to several kilometers. They might be just going from one town to another, one city to another, two from must be Kanyakumari to Delhi or Kashmir. So, it differs from a few kilometers to several kilometers. Moreover, the duration of stay involved in the new location may vary from just a few days, they go and they return, few days, to several years, they stay there itself. So, if you go to a city, let us take for example Chennai city, we will see a lot of people, which is your native place. I come from down south, I migrated, my grandparents migrated from Andhra to Chennai city, must be some 70-75 years back. So, few days to several years. I want to show you a map, and it shows the hot spots of migration, places from where people move out much. So, we see this district is the district of Rameshwaram. It is a coastal district. Fishing is the predominant occupation. So, many people move out of this place seeking for other better opportunities. The other district here is Ramanathapuram, that is again a dry district. They move out to Chennai, etc., looking for job, better opportunities. Now, let us look at the Kerala stretch, the western coast. So, here again we see hot spots, red spots, and these people are all Gulf bound. They go to the Gulf countries to work and earn there. You yourself would have heard many Malayali friends, Keralite friends saying, my cousin is in the Gulf, my dad works in the Gulf, etc., etc. So, Gulf bound country, and we are seeing Mumbai here, inbound. Many people come to Mumbai because there are lots of employment opportunities there. And again here we see from UP, Western Bihar, we read here perhaps the world's largest pool of migrant workers emerge from UP and Western Bihar. So, if you see the map itself, you will be able to see which are the cities which send out a lot of people and which are the cities which take in a lot of people, or to say migrants. Internal migration is classified based on various criteria, which are based on direction of movement, based on spatial dimension, based on the motive or the reasons for migration, and based on duration of migration. We will look at each of these four one by one. Within internal migration, there is a four-way classification according to the direction of movements within and between rural and urban areas, which are rural to rural. So, from one rural area they move to another rural area, from one block they move to another block. So, it is rural to rural, from rural to urban, urban to rural, urban to urban migration. Now, second is based on spatial dimension, whether the internal migration is going to be intra-district migration within the district, is it going to be inter-district between the districts, it is going to be interstate migration from one state to another. So, it is based on spatial dimension. Based on motive, reasons for migration, are people migrating for reasons of marriage or labor migration or migration of people for work, employment, etc. Is it migration due to natural calamities? When the Gujarat Bhuj earthquake happened in 2001, we saw a lot of Gujarati people moving around in other cities and looking for livelihood options. So, even natural calamities. Based on duration of migration, are they permanent migrants, are they going to be temporary migrants, are they going to stay here for a long time or for a short time? Temporary labor migrants are those individuals whose place of residence differs from their place of registration, the place where they have registered in the census. Permanent migrants, on the other hand, are migrants who have changed their registration to the place of residence. Okay, come on, let us do a quick check if we have understood. Dash is when people migrate within the same country or region, for example, moving from Chennai to Delhi. Yes, it is internal migration. Dash is when people migrate from one country to another, for example, moving from Chennai to Mexico. Okay, good, it is international migration. Emigrants are people who leave a, yes, country. Dash is someone who enters a country. Immigrants. The last, dash is the movement out of cities into the rural areas. Urban to rural, internal migration. Very good. Let me summarize whatever we have seen till now. We saw the concept of migration, couple of definitions of migration, statistics of migration, and the two major classifications of internal and international migration. In particular, we saw the different types of internal migration. Meet you in the next part. Thank you.